The power of quick, clear, and fearless rhetoric has always been a defining force in shaping political debates, public discourse, and even historical movements. In a world where arguments can drag on endlessly and complex ideas are often buried under layers of jargon, the ability to dismantle a flawed point swiftly and decisively is invaluable. Jasmine Crockett's exchange with Kellyanne Conway serves as a vivid example of this dynamic, where words, timing, and confidence collided to produce a moment that left a lasting impression on the audience. Quick rhetoric is not about rushing or speaking without thought. It is about striking at the heart of an argument in such a way that it leaves no room for doubt or confusion. The crowd's cheers in that moment were not simply about entertainment or spectacle, they were a reflection of how much people crave clarity in a time filled with noise and half-truths. To understand why quick rhetoric is so effective, one must recognize the psychology of communication in high-pressure environments. When individuals are presented with long, winding arguments, the human mind often tunes out after a few minutes. But when someone cuts straight through the clutter with a precise, undeniable truth, the effect is instant. Crockett's words were not only a rebuttal but a moment of intellectual clarity that simplified what many felt but could not articulate. That is the beauty of fearless rhetoric. It acts like a spotlight that immediately reveals what has been hidden or obscured. Fearless rhetoric also requires a willingness to take risks, because speaking boldly in front of a large audience or in the face of an experienced opponent can invite backlash. Yet it is this very courage that transforms an ordinary response into a powerful moment of persuasion. Clarity in speech is another essential element that distinguishes effective rhetoric from empty talk. Crockett did not need to drown her audience in statistics or complicated reasoning. Instead, she relied on language that was sharp, concise, and impossible to misinterpret. A clear point leaves no escape route for the opponent, no opportunity for twisting words or reframing the debate. Kellyanne Conway, known for her skill in redirecting questions and controlling narratives, found herself momentarily disarmed, because Crockett's clarity did not allow for detours. This shows how clarity in rhetoric not only strengthens the speaker's message but also weakens the opposition's ability to deflect. In political and social debates, this kind of rhetorical precision is often the difference between a forgettable exchange and a viral, game-changing moment. Fearless rhetoric is about more than just volume or assertiveness. It comes from authenticity and conviction. When Crockett delivered her response, the audience felt the weight of her sincerity. People cheer not just for clever words but for the truth spoken without hesitation. A fearless speaker does not second-guess themselves or leave room for doubt, and that energy transfers directly to the audience. The crowd reacts because they sense the confidence behind the words. This is why Crockett's moment resonated beyond the room. It captured a universal desire for leaders who can stand firm, unshaken, and unapologetic in their defense of what they believe. Fearlessness in rhetoric is contagious. It emboldens others to speak up, to challenge falsehoods, and to demand accountability. Another key aspect of quick and fearless rhetoric is its adaptability. In debates, no one has time to craft long, rehearsed speeches in response to unexpected remarks. What sets apart great communicators is their ability to think on their feet, to seize the moment, and to turn pressure into opportunity. Crockett's rapid dismantling of Conway's argument was not something prepared in advance. It was the result of sharp thinking combined with a deep understanding of the issues at hand. This adaptability is what makes rhetoric not just an art but also a skill honed through experience. The lesson here is that preparation and knowledge form the foundation, but fearlessness is what enables someone to deploy that knowledge in real time without hesitation. The crowd's reaction to Crockett's rhetorical strike is also worth examining, because it reveals the broader social function of quick and fearless communication. Audiences today are inundated with spin, manipulation, and endless back and forths that rarely lead to resolution. When someone like Crockett delivers a concise and fearless truth, it provides a sense of release for those listening. The cheers represent relief, a collective acknowledgement that finally, someone has said what needed to be said in a way that could not be ignored. This demonstrates that rhetoric is not just about the speaker and the opponent, it is also about the relationship with the audience. A great moment of rhetoric does not just win a debate. It strengthens the bond between the speaker and those who feel represented by her words. Historical examples show us that quick, fearless rhetoric has always played a pivotal role in moments of transformation. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Winston Churchill, and Malcolm X all knew the value of distilling complex truths into powerful, concise statements that could resonate instantly. Crockett's moment may not be on the same scale as those historical milestones, but it draws from the same principle. People remember words that are sharp, fearless, and delivered at the right time. The echoes of these moments often outlive the events themselves, because the clarity of the rhetoric embeds itself into public consciousness. Finally, quick and fearless rhetoric is a reminder that language is one of the most powerful tools of leadership. In a society where misinformation can spread faster than facts, the ability to cut through confusion with a fearless truth is not only valuable but necessary. Crockett's dismantling of Conway's argument demonstrates that one well-timed, well-delivered statement can shift the tone of a conversation, energize supporters, and silence opponents. It shows us that rhetoric is not just about style, it is about wielding words as instruments of power, justice, and influence. Confidence as a tool to command any debate is one of the most underrated yet decisive elements of persuasion. It is not always the strongest argument or the most extensive evidence that wins over an audience. Often, it is the way the speaker presents their message that determines its impact. When Jasmine Crockett responded to Kellyanne Conway, it was not just the words she used but the unshakable confidence with which she delivered them that made the moment unforgettable. Confidence has the power to magnify a simple statement, turning it into a commanding declaration that demands attention. Without confidence, even the sharpest rhetoric risks falling flat. With confidence, even a short remark can resonate with force and authority, leaving the audience captivated and convinced. The psychology of confidence in debates is rooted in perception. Audiences instinctively equate confidence with credibility. When a speaker projects certainty, people are more likely to trust their message, even if they are not experts in the subject matter. Confidence creates a perception of mastery, and mastery earns respect. Crockett's presence on stage, her steady tone, and her unwavering composure all communicated to the audience that she was in control of the exchange. This control is crucial in debates because it shifts the balance of power. A confident speaker does not appear defensive or reactive, they set the tone, and their opponent is forced to follow. In this way, confidence becomes a tool not just of self-assurance but of dominance, reshaping the dynamics of the debate itself. Another essential aspect of confidence is body language. Words alone cannot carry a message if the speaker's gestures, posture, and expressions contradict them. Crockett's body language reflected composure and strength. Standing tall, speaking without hesitation, and maintaining firm eye contact all reinforced the sense that she believed in her words. Audiences are highly sensitive to nonverbal cues, often more than they realize. A confident stance conveys readiness, while nervous fidgeting or lack of eye contact signals doubt. This means that confidence is communicated through both voice and presence, and together they create an aura that draws the audience in. In the moment against Conway, Crockett's body language amplified her words, leaving the impression that she was not just making an argument but owning the entire space. Confidence also allows a speaker to take risks. In high-pressure debates, playing it safe often results in forgettable exchanges. A confident speaker, however, is willing to be bold, to push boundaries, and to strike decisively without fear of backlash. Crockett's quick dismantling of Conway's point carried risk. After all, Conway is known for her skill in debate and her ability to twist narratives. Yet Crockett's confidence neutralized that risk because she refused to waver. Taking risks requires conviction, and conviction is what turns an ordinary remark into a powerful moment that people remember long after the debate has ended. Confidence, therefore, is not about arrogance but about believing so deeply in one's truth that hesitation has no place. The relationship between confidence and authority is another reason this tool is so powerful in debates. Authority is not always determined by titles or positions. It can be created in the moment by the way a speaker carries themselves. When Crockett spoke, her authority was not derived solely from her role as a congresswoman but from the way she embodied leadership in that exchange. Her tone communicated certainty, her delivery commanded attention, and her refusal to be rattled by Conway's tactics showed that she was not just participating in the debate but controlling it. This is how confidence transforms perception. It turns a participant into a leader, and a rebuttal into a statement of power. Confidence also has the unique ability to influence the emotional energy of an audience. People are drawn to certainty, especially in moments of tension or conflict. When Crockett spoke, her confidence gave the audience permission to cheer, to support her, and to share in the empowerment of the moment. Audiences feed off the energy of the speaker, and a confident speaker transfers their assurance directly to the crowd. This emotional connection is why debates are not won in silence but in the reactions of those watching. Confidence, when projected effectively, bridges the gap between the speaker and the audience, creating a shared sense of triumph. It is important to recognize that confidence is not about ignoring flaws or pretending to know everything. Rather, it is about acknowledging challenges without letting them diminish one's resolve. In debates, opponents will attempt to undermine, distract, or provoke. A confident speaker, however, treats these attempts as irrelevant obstacles, maintaining focus and composure throughout. Crockett's ability to remain calm while delivering a decisive rebuttal exemplifies this principle. Instead of being thrown off balance by Conway's arguments, she redirected the moment and re-established control. Confidence in this sense is not the absence of opposition but the ability to face opposition without losing one's footing. Preparation plays a role in building the foundation for confidence, but it is the performance under pressure that truly reveals it. Crockett's response was not rehearsed word for word, it was the product of preparation combined with trust in her own instincts. This is what separates genuine confidence from a facade. A speaker who memorizes lines without belief will falter when challenged, but a speaker who knows their values, understands the issues,